Yes, welcome back to the Wilderness Podcast. Let me make sure my volume is good and make sure we where we at with the audio, where we supposed to be with the audio. Okay, let me get my focus down. Shit. Okay. Profile. Yeah, the world's a stage. That's where we at with it. Okay, so follows. What's up, my people here on TikTok as well? What's going on, my folks? So tonight's show is going to be about a world of stage. So the actual show is going on YouTube right now. So I'm glad you're tuning in on TikTok because I can do both. So anyway, I'll be tuning in with both of you guys. I won't be having any. I won't be talking or taking any people in. So I'll be rotating. I'm actually doing an actual live show. So you're about, just be cool with the pauses or whatever. So, we'll get through it. But anyway, check it out, y'all. Tonight's show, the world is a stage. So we're gonna really dive into some intricate details about the world being a stage. So y'all gonna have to follow me. Y'all gonna have to go with me on this one because it is, and you know it is. What part do you play in it? What's your character? Who are you? What are your characteristics? How many titles do you have? You know what I'm saying? What do you uphold? What upholds you? Who holds you down? What holds you down? Who do you identify with? What do you identify as? So you think about the world being a stage. What part do you play, and what part do you play with the people that you play on stage with? So let's get to some talking points. So the thing is, on the Wheelers podcast, we talk about the world as a stage. So why are you playing the wrong role? Hmm. Think about it. Are you playing the wrong role? The right role? What are you playing? Everybody's acting, but who's being real? Damn, that's a conundrum. You're on a stage right now, and are you elevating or performing? Life is a role, but are you becoming better or just acting? So everything is acting, everything is a role, everything is playing a part, everything is existing, everything is saying, "Oh shit, what am I gonna do now? How am I gonna elevate, or how am I gonna achieve my way? How am I going to, you know, navigate in and out of your situation or in and out of your life, whatever that means to you?" Let me set my camera right. Damn, I don't like that shit like that. Okay, it's cool. Anyway, so if the world's a stage and you playing a part, do you get to choose your character, or are you actually building your character? Are you authentic within your character? What part do you play? How is your dwelling in the part that you're playing with yourself? Like, if you think about these equations for yourself, you'll think about this right here. Damn, come on now. Switching up on me and shit. If the world is like a stage, everybody has a role, but not everybody's growing into a better version of themselves. You're not just here to play a part, you're here to evolve while playing it. Do you understand that concept? Everybody's performing, working, relationships, and social media, all that kind of shit. People wearing masks, depending on their environment. And who are you when nobody's watching? So if you're performing and wearing a mask, and you're always building and working on being who you are specifically, then what are your sides and what sides do you take within yourself for yourself to evolve within your performance or just fail? A lot of people, you don't understand. You get to live and breathe and exist every day, but what patterns do you have that help you make you a better you? It's a thought. It's a thought. Let's get to the next actual. See, roles versus what is actual reality. You know what I'm saying? Like parent, this is roles of like these boss ladies out here. They parents, hustlers, bosses, victims, leaders, and followers. They follow the Lord Jesus Christ. But they're the leaders in the households. But they're also the victim. Oh. But you a hustler and you a boss. I'm a parent. You see all these picking and choosing of roles? You're everything you need to be when you want to be it. And you feel like you're pulling off some type of magic trick. Your ass is in survival, just like anybody else. But it's how you survive within this world and what you learn through your immediate ways of life. What you're doing right now. Seriously. Some people get stuck in a role and never grow past it. When you're stuck in a role that you can never grow past, what does that mean for you? What does that really facilitate for you in your future? How old are you going to get before you're going to have something for yourself? A place to lay your head? Taxes is a mug out here. It's how you position yourself, How will you retire? You think I'm talking about how you're going to live to an old age? Nah, I'm not talking about that at all. Mm-mm. I'm talking about what are you going to do to make sense in your life that you don't mind doing that will provide you the ability to take care of yourself. Just because you go ahead and cast in a role doesn't mean you got to stay there in that position, in that situation. It just doesn't mean it. Because, the thing is, you have to understand it's acting versus becoming. You're not in Hollywood. You're living your whole life. Acting is pretending, survival, and fitting in. That's all acting is, pretending, surviving, and fitting in. You think that what people do on stage is acting. That's what you call theater. But becoming who you are is growth, awareness, and discipline. That's what becoming is. Growth, awareness, and discipline. For real. Straight up. Some people play the part as well. They forget they're supposed to grow. You forget that's an intricate part of coming up in life. Don't you have adolescence? Don't you play a part in growing, surviving, doing things repetitious enough to get your skill sets up in order to do something for yourself? Even from when you were a child, getting up, standing up, walking. You had to try and try again. You fell on your ass, got up and tried it again, huh? Isn't that how that worked? Accountability on a stage. You can't blame the script forever. Oh, this is how I was raised. Is all I've been shown. What have you done for you? You dig? That's for real. You can't blame the script forever. You can't keep blaming, and not learning. But the blame game is what people prefer. At some point, you have to rewrite your character. You have to understand your wrongdoings and how simple-minded, shallow, a simpleton, just an unaware person, unaware of your thoughts, unaware of your perspective, unaware of who you really were or who you thought you were to be, just unaware, specifically and physically and benignly unaware. It's crazy. But that's who some people are, extremely unaware of their behavior and themselves. See, life gives you a role, but you decide how powerful that role becomes for you. Life does give you a role. You have to choose that role. And you have to participate in that role because that's what was designed for you if you find out what that specifically is. But it will continue to reveal itself to you. You just have to accept it. You can make it a powerful gift or something that can be a waste of talent. Seriously. See, growth is intentional, not automatic. Growth is extremely intentional. You don't automatically grow like you automatically age. But you don't have to automatically age. You can slow that process up by what? Learning. What? Somebody would say some shit like, did you learn how to dye your hair? Oh man, I kid. I make that was just me making fun of myself sometimes. It's healthy. Whatever. Let me see what we got on in the chat. Let me see if I get my chat going. Yeah, let's see what we got going on here. All right. So anyway, let's see what we got going on. It don't matter. Anyway, okay. It's all good. But check it out. Yeah, that's what were we? Don't forget to subscribe to the Wilderness Podcast on YouTube, man. We out here. Got a lot of shows out. I need you guys to check out and enjoy. For sure. Subscribe to the Wilderness Podcast on YouTube. I want you to hit that share button, hit that like button. And keep it out. Keep checking out more of my shows, especially the long version of the shows. They're nice. I hope you like them. But anyway, here we go. Let's keep going. See, I told you growth is intentional, it's not automatic. But also, better being, discipline, awareness, and self-control. A lot of people, especially these day and age, they have a real problem with self-control. It's crazy, man. They be on some, they listen to a lot of that NBA YoungBoy type of music. You know what I'm saying? That's what they be on. That, all that old damn Tourette, psychotic, that's just wild, man. I ain't making fun of it, man. A lot of people like his music going, but it's really like, whoa. That's a lot of the energy can be used to be, man. Anyway, I don't understand it. It is what it is. Shout out to the character though. But it's too many. He has, it's a lot of people that's emulating that type of exacerbation of a being, and it's really like a person having a tantrum, walking around like a time bomb, ready to hurt people. That's kind of like what it comes across as, But anyway, letting go of old roles. When we develop ourselves, like I told you, it's something you have to participate in. Development is something you have to participate in when it comes to dealing with yourself, because the world is an actual stage, and the only way you get better at your role is by becoming a better you. You can't get out of the matrix, homie. There's no way out of this unless you want to go, that way you ain't breathing no more. It's not a way out. So the way out, or the way to play in, is to develop yourself. And that doesn't mean taking away, hurting, destroying, and annihilating other people for disagreeing with you. People are different. It's okay to be your true self and the true version of you without emulating something else. That's my only point. So, I'm not trying to shit on nobody, or how they behave, or how they grew up, or how they, look at society, or society is how it was dealt to them. Because believe you me, this motherfucker ain't perfect nowhere. There's no part of society that is perfect. If you look around you, you're like, damn, all you can do is develop yourself to stay out of those crises and situations that threaten your life and your livelihood, your comfort, who you are, and who you're developing in the process to be in the first place. So you have to be aware. And you have to take care of yourself too. But taking care of your mind and how you think is far more important, you know what I'm saying, than trying to figure out how to, evaluate who. So dig this, right? Facing your honesty. If the world is a stage, you have to face your honesty because you're only playing with yourself. The only character in the equation is you when you look at it because if everybody sees you and know you, they see and know who you are and what you are. So they're not going to sit up here and allow you to pretend to be something that they know you are, that they know, and they also know who you are not. But you, people that play roles, you're the only one that's acting. So check this out. The world is a stage, but not everybody deserves a leading role. Yeah. Everybody want a leading role. That's why you got these shows like The Housewives of all of the cities. That's why you got these reality shows. That's why you have Fear Factor. That's why you got people that are, in the clutches of damn near doing anything to be famous, gathering and wanting money because they say, what part do they play on the world stage? They want to be famous. They want people to know it. That's what it is. I'm not mad at nobody. Don't get me wrong. I'm not a Scrooge. I have a Facebook page and I want people to subscribe and to watch, but I also want something to offer you that is authentic. It's all about authenticity for me, and that's cool. And people have a lot of ways, and they're great at a lot of talents, and they have a lot of great talents. And I'm grateful for people to see, people develop and people grow their talents as well. So I like entertainment, but edutainment is extremely important as well. It's what you feed your mind and what you feed yourself. So I'm not shitting. No, I like my share of little junk. You know what I'm saying? But I don't watch a whole lot of that. But I don't get into a lot of that shit. I prefer to do what I do, develop and educate myself. But check this out. You're not stuck. You're just comfortable in a weak character. See, that's what some people don't have the audacity to get on YouTube and have a conversation with the world, knowing that the world that will see them in action and see their face and see how they operate and they have antics that got we got behaviors and we have different type of movements and shit that people will emulate and will say, hey man, look at that's how that shit go. But at the end of the day, it's like a lot of people don't want that attention. They don't want that around them. I don't blame them. I don't think it's bad for them. People have cutoff valves. Doesn't mean that they're weak either. It just some things don't suit them. But in some ways, people do have they have great other talents they won't pursue. And that gives you the assignment of, or gives you the character of weak. So that's how you get a weak character out of that situation. You get a weak character because you have established yourself as a weaker character. And when you have a weak character, you will practice as lower vibrational energy in your character. Basically, extremely highly emotional and dysfunction, always screaming and yelling and having a fucking fit when something don't go your way, just being awful and destructive to other people. All kind of old raggedy shit that people do that can be, extremely despicable and nasty to other folks. And it's not cool. But that's what you do on the world stage. And then some people, when you have other people that come to other people's countries, they feel as if They see things in a whole nother type of situation that's just not even viable. But to be honest with you, I'll give you an example. You know,